Welcome everybody to another video with Ben. Today I'm going to discuss something I'm really passionate about, and that is martial arts. I'm going to talk about why some women's self-defense classes are utterly and completely trash, and what you should look for when you choose for a self-defense class. And I'm going to highlight a few points of why I think that is the case. Before we start, let me just tell you to subscribe, share, comment, let us know what you think, and give us your opinion. Give us constructive criticism, if you would. So, martial arts. Well, my adventure with martial arts started when I was 4 years old, when my father first introduced me to Bruce Lee movies. However, I was unable to practice any martial arts until the age of 17, when I enrolled in karate kickboxing classes, and I climbed up to becoming a brown belt and competing in regional and national championships. There was one of the greatest things that I liked about it was fighting, sparring mostly. Then once I moved to university, I was introduced to Taekwondo, which I climbed my ranks again, and participating in many local and national tournaments with the university. And when I moved here in the United States, I reached my black belt rank, and I kept on competing up to a US Open, so it would be a good national level. And recently, I started my adventure with Jiu-Jitsu a couple of years ago. So let me tell you, I've been kicked in the guts, punched in the face, kicked in the face, kicked to my balls so many times that I can remember. And I'm pretty sure I've done the same to other folks as well. And I've been choked until losing consciousness as well, and almost broken all my limbs in the process with Jiu-Jitsu. But that's all been fun, the fun part. Call me a masochist if you would. So why do some women's self-defense classes suck? Well, let me start by saying that today's cultural norms have made it possible with modern feminism to have a status where some people would say that what a man can do, a woman can. Now, let me just start by telling you that what a man can do, a woman cannot do, and what a woman can do, a man cannot do, because we complement each other with our roles. However, in the matter of strength and physical performance, I'm pretty shocked I'm going to disappoint a few people out there, but men still have the upper hand. We have a different body mass. We have different muscles, stronger muscles on our upper body, different bone density. We're bigger and larger. And I'm sorry to say that, but in a face-to-face combat situation, overwhelmingly, a man is going to overtake a woman. The other thing is that we have our culture has been shaped by Hollywood, by movies, where you see the usual switch any face you want, strong female character, literally kicking ass, a 120-pound woman beating up 200-pound men and just throwing them here and there. So to many, that has created a false perception in a way that does not really resonate with what reality is. Because, let's face it, once shit hits the fan, it's really difficult out there to defend yourself. That is either for men and women, if you're not really mentally and physically prepared. So, what are some general common shortcomings of female self-defense classes? Well, classes focus on when the situation is already too late. There is not too much talk about prevention. So they don't cover situational awareness, they don't cover reading body language, reading terrain, or having 2 or 3 escape routes. Or even how to avoid being in a bad situation altogether. Let's be honest here. How many times have you seen people completely walking unaware of their surroundings with their faces down on the phone and just walking on the street, completely self-absorbed in a world on a screen and unaware of what's going on around them. So the first thing would start there, just being aware of your surrounding. That's a huge ability, and you can actually develop that skill. Then the other thing is that classes teach the fighting philosophy wrong, because there is, in these classes, there is way too much girl power on it. And there's this belief, as I mentioned, that the average woman can overpower the average man by main strength, and that is not true, as we've seen. Or there's this assumption that the doing complicated tricks will untangle you from a difficult situation. As always, complexity is the enemy of execution, and I'll explain that why later. The other thing is that these classes sell the idea that with 1 or 2 weekend sessions, you can actually, or by kicking a dummy or a man dressed with full gear on, and while other ladies screaming at her to kick his ass, is going to be enough to actually give him the ability and the confidence to actually do that in real life. Some of these classes are absolute trash, and their only goal is to make you feel good and set you, literally just take your money. And there is this emphasis on building confidence more than actually ability, and how to teach people how to be deliberately aggressive and break down another human being with purposefully being purposefully violent at the same time. Then, as we know, women are generally conditioned by society to be nice, and classes must overcome that. For example, there's the overwhelming need for contact, sparring. And just to be there to condition women to violence, because most of the time what I've seen, I used to have a martial arts school as well when I used to live in Arizona, and when I put 2 girls facing each other, they would do solo drills, they would kick ass and kill it. However, when I would just put them each other face to face, they would be way too kind to each other, just try not to hurt each other. So there was that part that was like that. It's not like you to apply a killing intent when you're sparring, but still you need to put meaning and pack some power and punch and meaning behind those kicks and punches. So they wouldn't just hit their partner with vigor and strength, and that's really necessary. Then the other thing, that self-defense classes should really focus on a simple set of skills that work in different situations, and teach a mindset that no matter what, once you're in that zone, your life depends on it. That means that you need to be 100% serious and focus on either do it or die, because that's dire consequences of it are going to be terrible. The odds are going to be terrible against you. So you should just practice to get ready to fight, because you cannot run away from that situation, and you need to be brutally violent and try to do anything in your power with all your ability to strike that person that is trying to attack you, and then escape, and that's it. Just don't be there and just be a superhero girl trying to thinking that you can outmatch and outlast a man in that case, you know. So just simple thinking about finding an escape route, neutralizing the threat, incapacitate in that case, and then run away. And then, as I mentioned already before, 2 classes are not enough. It just takes condition and repetition and drilling to spar, and also getting used to spar against larger men to get you used to in that mentality. So you get, once you really are in danger and in that situation, you're really able to at least overcome and know what to do. And the thing is that self-defense is commitment. It's commitment in a way that you either commit yourself to in a martial art, in that case, that will enable you to be physically fit and to put you in a mental state where you are at least in a condition to overcome those odds when the time comes. Let's hope always that the time doesn't come, but at least you want to be able to have the ability and the mental capacity to switch off and be in that state where you actually gonna do everything in your power to get out of that situation, of that threat, and escape. There's always this thing that Jordan Peterson says, and is that you don't want to be an angel in a world of demons, and you kind of want to be kind of a demon in a world of angels, in a way that you know that you have the ability to switch and become dangerous in a specific situation and not be somebody that can be pushed away. And building confidence, it can be trained. You can be physically conditioned. You can learn a skill, and it takes a long time to build. And I wish there would be no violence in the world. However, we cannot be in a state of wishful thinking and assuming that we're always 100% in a safe environment and then no harm is going to come to us. We've seen too often what happens in on-campus colleges, and especially when there is alcohol involved, when everybody's actually not able to reason. But I guess that's a topic for another time. In the meantime, ladies, build your body, build your mind, and be afraid at the same time, because you can use fear in a purposeful way to get better and stay safe. I will see you next time.